how do you get PR? How do you get brand deals? How do you get collabs? I have the Sony ZV-1F. There's not a right time to start. How do you get monetized? How do you start making money? And how long did it take me to start making money based off of my content? So what do you do if you don't have an aesthetic life? How do I go viral? How do I make my thumbnails? How do you start and when do you start? How much does it cost to start? What you have to film with, what you have to film on in order to create content. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Keyorie Eliana. In today's video, I have a very requested video that I've been getting requested ever since I even started social media. How to become an influencer or how to become a content creator. That is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Whether you want to start YouTube or TikTok, I feel like all of these tips gather together into the same thing, so they're relevant to whichever thing you want to do. I do have a bunch of notes and a bunch of questions that I'm going to be going over on this video. They're questions that you guys asked me on my Instagram post, and also just things and tips that I think will be helpful in general. Now, I definitely still have time and space to grow with my influencing or content creator journey. I started, I want to say freshman year, so 2022. I've been in the game for about 3 years. So within that 3-year span, I've gained almost 300,000 on TikTok, and I just hit 51,000 on YouTube. So thank you so much for all of my supporters. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. First things first, let's talk equipment. A lot of people want to know what you have to film with, what you have to film on in order to create content. Now, if you are filming on your phone for YouTube, I feel like TikTok, everyone films on their phone unless you want to be fancy and get a camera for TikTok. You don't really need to. Everyone films on their phone. So if you are filming on your phone, especially for YouTube, I feel like the only thing you really need is probably a tripod and a ring light or a light that you can bring with you. This light right here is the one that I use. I love it so much. I'm currently not using it just because it's on the charger and I want to sit in my bed. But I think it is really worth the investment, and a lot of people don't mention that if your lighting isn't good in your videos, whether it's TikTok or YouTube, people instantly want to click off. Quality is always the first impression of your video. So if your video seems to have bad quality, whether it's your camera or lighting or whatever, people are just going to want to click off because they're going to think it's going to be a bad video. That doesn't necessarily mean your video is bad. It's just, it's that first impression. First impressions matter. So I feel like if you're filming on your phone, all you really need is a tripod and a ring light or a light, like I said. Another thing that I really do recommend is if you're filming on your phone, not necessarily for TikTok, if you're filming on TikTok, use a TikTok camera. I film on my TikToks, Get Ready With Me's, etc. on TikTok on my TikTok camera. I don't like filming on my phone camera. I think the TikTok camera is better. I don't know what the difference is. But if you are filming on your phone, when you are filming in your video mode, let me see if I can turn my brightness down so you guys can see. Up in this corner, you're gonna see your HD and 30. You can change that 30 to 60 and it already makes the quality better, but you can also change that HD to 4K and it makes the quality very smooth, versus if I put it back to 30 HD, you guys can probably notice a difference. The only thing with switching it from 30 HD to 4K 60, the 30 is like frames per second, 60 frames per second, 4K HD. The only downside to doing that is it takes up a good amount of storage. I don't recommend doing that if you have a 64GB phone, maybe 128GB. But then again, if you have a lot of stuff on your phone and you like to take pictures and you don't really clean out your phone like that, I would say at least have a 256GB phone if you plan to film on your phone. You can also do it with a 128GB, but like I said, it does take up a good amount of storage. So I recommend personally at least having a 120GB to 256GB phone. That's a good like gigabyte frame if you're going to be switching the camera settings on your phone. Also, another good thing is you're filming on your phone, you can film with the back camera. If you don't want to do the 4K 60 frames per second, that camera's good. I know they came out with tripods now that actually have a mirror or something that attaches to the tripod so you can see yourself. And they also have like this mag thing, like you can see what you're recording on your back camera. And if you want even better quality, back camera, 4K 60 frames per second. And I feel like that's basically it. that we're gonna cover for like if you're filming on your phone. And if you want to know, I did start filming on my iPhone 11 and then I moved on to my iPhone 15 Plus and then I got my camera. Now, if you are filming on a camera, what are some good cameras? Anything Canon G7X Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. A lot of people go for Mark 2 and Mark 3, not really Mark 1. I've never heard anything about that. Does that even exist? Also, really good alternatives are Sony ZV-1F and Sony ZV-1. I have the Sony ZV-1F. I like it. I feel like I don't really notice the difference between the Sony ZV-1F and the Sony ZV-1. And those are good, very compact vlogging cameras. I don't really know about the sit down cameras because me personally, I think they're bulky, whatever. I'm literally using my vlogging camera as a sit down camera. You do not need two different cameras unless your pockets can afford that and you really want that. Other than that, your vlogging camera can be your sit down camera. Okay, but if you do not want to spend all your money on a Canon G7X, I know they are more on the expensive side. They're like $1,000+ The Sony ZV-1 and the Sony ZV-1F are good alternatives. I think they're like range from $400 to $700. The one that I have, I think is like $500. But yeah, if you are filming on a camera, those are some good camera brands or places to get your camera from. You can buy them on Best Buy. I always recommend buying your electronics from Best Buy. Do not get on Amazon and get a refurbished electronic, especially if it's a camera. You're going to have to save up that money and buy a brand new one. With your camera, all you really need is an SD card and probably refillable battery packets. You can find the refillable batteries on like Amazon. Just look up like your camera name, batteries, and then it should come with multiple batteries and actually like a station that you can charge your batteries, just so you have batteries that you can pop into your camera, you know? And then with the SD card, I recommend a 128GB card or 256GB card because cameras do produce high quality, but also since it already is like an SD card for a camera, it evens out, honestly. You can also get a tripod for your camera. That is good too, so you don't have to stack a bunch of stuff and put your camera or your phone on top or whatever. There are so many times where I put my phone on something or my camera on something and then the foundation just collapses and everything falls and it's so annoying. So a tripod is definitely really good. But yeah, the camera that I have is a Sony ZV-1F. I do not change anything in the settings. It's on the factory settings. Now, when it comes to editing softwares, I use vllo Premium. vllo is the app. Premium is just a premium option within the app, like how you have CapCut and CapCut Premium. A lot of people use CapCut, but me personally, I just love vllo. Maybe one day I'll switch to CapCut, but I've been using vllo since I started my YouTube channel. So I did start off editing on my phone for like the first 2 YouTube videos of mine, but then after that I started editing on my mom's iPad because she got an iPad and then I got an iPad, and so I started editing on my iPad, all with vllo. And then I recently bought my MacBook Air and now I edit on this. I will say, like, it is the same thing on an iPhone, an iPad, and my MacBook with the same editing app. Nothing changed at all. The only reason I even got a MacBook in general was because my iPad was 64GB, and the way my camera quality was, because I did get my camera like while I was still having to edit on my iPad, my camera quality was super high to the point where my iPad, like the storage just would not work. You guys have probably already seen like my prom get ready with me video or whatever, but the reason why it took so long, like I would have posted my prom get ready with me video right after prom, but the reason it took like a week and a half for me to get that video out was because my videos would not upload onto my iPad. There were a total of like 32 clips like of videos for me to upload onto my iPad and edit. Only 3 of them made the cut. Like my iPad storage it was not cooperating with my camera, and so that's why I had to get a MacBook. I had to get a MacBook to have enough storage. Yeah, this was an investment for YouTube. I still did do some other things on it though. My baby sister literally like took my iPad. She uses it, but it's okay because everything I basically use my iPad for, I use on my MacBook now, and I can play Sims 4 on my MacBook. Anyway, that's not the point. You can do anything on an iPad that you can do on an iPhone, MacBook. I use vllo Premium. But yeah, when I first started like content creation or YouTube specifically, because I will say this is where like I first knew content creation of, I was one of those people where like, oh, I need to have Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is like $300 editing app. You do not need that. Like, no. Especially if you're not doing any hardcore editing and you're just basically adding music, adding a few texts, and like clipping down your videos. You do not need to pay $300 for an editing app. The only reason I even pay for my editing app is because I don't feel like watching ads, and then I can also extract audios from my camera roll versus having to do this whole ordeal where I have to save the video to files and this, that, and the third. It's just convenient, and it was not $300, it was $60. I will not make a tutorial on how I edit because it is pretty self-explanatory, and like I said, with the vllo Premium app that I have, literally everything is labeled. Like it literally tells you what it's for. It's very self-explanatory. I basically enter all my videos in. I enter my outro clip. I intro my intro. Then I'll add my music. It's normally like copyright free jazz. Then I'll clip down my video, clip out bloopers. I'll add text and sound effects as I go. I like to work through the video as I go from beginning to end, because if I just work through the video and I have to go back and forth and back and forth, it's a lot. So just work as you go. And then I go ahead and like duplicate some clips from that video, add them into my intro. That's basically how I edit. Now in total of how much does it cost to start when it comes to equipment, it really depends. If you already have a phone, you can still edit on your phone, you can film on your phone. But if you don't have a tripod, then maybe $20. If you don't have a light, $20. So I say if you're doing the cheap route where you want to edit on your phone and you already have a phone but you don't have a light and a tripod, max $100. But if you want to buy a camera or you want to buy an iPad, I'd say that it can really range. For me, when it came to start, I didn't really have to, the only thing that I paid for was my MacBook. I did not pay for my camera. It was a gift. My iPad was a gift. Didn't pay for my phone. I mean, I pay for my phone now, but like at the time when I was filming on my phone, I did not pay for it. So it was basically free for me. The only thing that I really paid for out of my own pocket was my MacBook, and that was $1,063. My camera is $400, so $1,463. And then if you want to add my editing software on top of that, it would be $1,500. Hold on, I know math. It'll be $1,523 in total is how much I've spent on content creation. That's my MacBook that I edit on, my camera that I film on, and my editing software. And if you want to include my tripod, let's see. I think my tripod was $60. That's only because it's like a tripod that's like bougie and it has all these buttons on it. You can just get a regular tripod, but yeah. That would be $1,583. So $1,583. Is there anything else? Now, if you just basically want your iPad to edit on, you already have a phone to film on, all you really need is a tripod and a light, $440 is probably your starting price. So about $500, I say. But if it's something that you really want to do, you have to make that investment in content creation. Now let's move on to the topic of the basic. The question I get asked the most, and this question actually irritates me, I don't know why, but how do you start and when do you start? Pick up your camera and record. Pick up your phone and record. There's not a right time to start, and you're never gonna grow and you're never gonna have a platform if you don't just post. Like when people ask me how do I start, you literally post. What do you mean how do you start? There's a question between how do I grow, how do you start? You start. Like, I'm confused. You pick up your camera and you post the video. You start. Like, that's how you start. You start. How to start, you pick up that camera. There is not a right time to start. Like I said, if you don't start now, you're never gonna start. You're never gonna get anywhere. The rest comes as it goes, and you really do have to remember that everyone's journey in content creation is different. There have been so many times that I've compared myself to other people in content creation, and I don't mean to brag or anything because I only am where I am because of God, but I would compare myself to them, and now I'm higher up on a platform than they are, but I would compare myself to them. Everyone's journey in content creation is different. I never thought in a million years that I would have the platform and the supporters and the following and the blessings that I do now because of content creation. Everyone's journey is different. Some people do blow up overnight. I was blessed and lucky, thank God, to be one of those people. Some people don't, and they have to work a bit harder. And I'm not saying I don't work hard, because there are still times where I am shadow banned and my content doesn't do well and I have to push a little harder. But some people blow up overnight, some people don't. It really is a hit or miss when it comes to content creation, but everyone's journey is different and you just have to start and see where it takes you. Another good question is, how do you figure out your niche or what you want to record? Honestly, just film what you yourself would like to watch. It makes you more entertained when you have to edit your own videos, and it makes you more entertained when you have to film your own videos. If you are filming something or editing something that is boring to you, no one else is gonna watch it. If it's boring to you, it's gonna be boring to other people. Another good thing is, I don't like to be secluded just to one type of video. I see a lot of people where it's like their whole account is, oh, hair content, or their whole account is beauty content, or their whole account is get ready with me, or hauls. I'm not shading them, but I don't like to be that person where it's like my whole account is just one thing. You guys see, I post get ready with me's, I post talking videos, I post advice videos, I post vlogs, I post about book content, and it's something for everyone on my platform, which is what I love. Also, if you don't film different things, you never know. Like, if you stick to get rid of me content, what if you post a book video and that book video goes viral? Because truth be told, my book videos do better than my regular videos do. So maybe I need to go back to that. But posting different videos helps you see which videos do the best, which videos you can continue doing, and it also helps you find an audience And if you do post a bunch of different videos, you have multiple people of multiple different audiences, and that is good. You have multiple people who like to watch your content, and there's something for everyone on your page. When I first started YouTube, it's a hidden channel. You're never gonna find it. But my channel name was Variety, because my name's Keyorie, so I called it Variety. But it was supposed to mimic variety because there is a variety of content on my page, so I called myself Variety. Ever since I was a pubescent, I never wanted to just post one type of content, so yeah. Another good question is, where do you find music for your background videos? Epidemic sound is really good. Thematic music is also good, but it's okay. You can look up no copyright music, but that also sometimes is tricky because sometimes no copyright music will get you copyrighted. I always prefer to just find a good 2-hour long no copyright jazz music, and I just use that for all of my videos. You guys probably don't even notice, but I've been using the same background music for like a year now. Like, it has not changed because it's so hard to find certain music, and it's just my brain. Like, I'll spend like 2 hours trying to find an intro song. Imagine trying to find a song for a whole video. But you can also type in free for profit blank no copyright music. Make sure it says free for profit. It has to say free for profit. Something like that. I don't really know when it comes to music, y'all. Y'all can't ask me because I'm plain Jane. I really don't care. The only thing I really care about is my intro and outro music. When it comes to the background music, another question I get asked is, how do I make my thumbnails? I make my thumbnails on Canva Pro, Phonto, and Picsart, and I also get my fonts from defont.com. The real ones know, the real ones know. Normally, I use Canva to put my pictures and arrange them on the screen. I use Picsart to add stickers and like outline the drawings on my body that you normally see on my thumbnails. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. And then for Phonto, I use that to put the text on the screen, and those are the 3 different apps that I use to make my thumbnail. Thumbnails are important. They capture the attention of your viewer. Some thumbnails, you can really just sit like this and then put like a sentence on the screen, and those will capture too, but it better be a good video, honestly. But thumbnails are so crucial. They capture the attention of your viewer, and it's the first thing they see before they even watch your video. So if your thumbnail is boring, they might not click on it. If your thumbnail isn't pleasing to the eye, they might not click on it. Did I say a pleasing? Oopsies, my bad. I meant pleasing to the eye. Another good question is, what are some good first video ideas, or how do you come up with video ideas? I'm gonna read off the list that I have, but good first video ideas are back to school videos. Those always do so good. I know so many people who blew up from back to school videos. Me. I am. If you literally go to my account right now, the first video you're gonna see is my first day of freshman year video that has like 1.2 million views. That is why I am here today, on both platforms. My TikTok transition video, the first video that blew up of mine, was my first day of freshman like year school content transitions and stuff. That, like, back to school is the time to blow up or get attention or start your content creation journey if you want to wait. Okay, it's actually right around the corner. So get ready with me's are really good. They're good on YouTube, but they're actually very good on TikTok. A lot of people like the quick get ready with me's. Maintenance vlogs are good. Sunday resets, school routines. I am homeschooled, so I sadly can't do this anymore. I did it like once or twice. Room tours are really good. A lot of people love room tours. So many people want one of my room, but I have yet to got to it. Soon. Hauls are really good. A lot of people love hauls. And seasonal content, whether that's back to school content for the season, winter vlogs, fall vlogs, summer vlogs, spring vlogs, summer content, spring content, you know, spring reset with me, summer day of my life, whatever, seasonal content, stuff that really only happens once a year. Christmas content, Halloween content, etc. See what's trending, copy that. It is not bad to copy trends. Everyone copies trends, so copy trends. You can also bring back old trends. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, don't bring back old trends, whatever. It was trending for a reason. 9 times out of 10, trends don't stop because they're boring or people found. Trends stop because there's constantly new trends coming out and they just get pushed behind. That does not mean you can't bring them back, because I still want to see more of that waking up at 5 a.m. for a week, or the $5 billion or $1 billion morning routine, or that girl morning routine. Like, bring back old trends. It is not necessarily bad, and I to this day still love to watch old content. It gives me a sense of nostalgia, and I know there are probably so many other people too who want to watch content like that still. So nothing wrong with bringing back old trends. It was trending for a reason. If it was bad, it wouldn't have been trending. So remember that. Oh, I'm doing good. I've only been recording for 30 minutes. Yes, queen, go. Now there are two different ways to phrase this question. How do you promote your channel or your page? And another way, how do I go viral? You have to always post your account, always post your channel, always post your page. I'm sorry, it's probably gonna get annoying to people, but like that's what you gotta do. You gotta send out them links. You gotta put yourself out there. You can't just stay in a little hermit and expect people to find you if you're not sharing yourself, you know? If you are starting on YouTube and you have Instagram and TikTok, share your platform on there. Vice versa. If you just posted a video on YouTube, go to your community tab and post on there. Yeah, I just posted this video because that helps as well. I like to do that. And you cannot be scared. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm scared that people from my school, or I'm scared that this, that, and the third. I promise you, probably no one cares. I literally promise you. I was never the type to be scared because I literally just don't care about someone else's opinion. And even if you were laughing at me, look at me now. Like, hello? But your fear of looking stupid and your fear of being embarrassed is what's holding you back. Hashtag SZA. But that's what's holding you back. You can't let your fear of what other people think hold you back from what you want to do. Because if you do that, you're going to be in the same spot your entire life. And that literally applies for everything. Do what you want to do and stop worrying about other people's opinions. Please. And they may talk about you, but once you get to that point where you want to be, who's going to be the one laughing now? Because they're going to be right at your doorstep talking about some, can you make a video with me, please? And you always want to be yourself, and you always want to be authentic and genuine, because you never want to put up a fake persona, and you're going to have to carry that around for the rest of your influencer career. And if someone meets you in real life and you're not how you are online, it's tiring to keep up a fake persona of something that isn't you. So just be authentic, be yourself, and create something you want to be known for. Like, you don't want to be known for something or someone per se that isn't you. So always be yourself. Now, this is a question that resonates with me because a lot of the time what makes me super unmotivated to film, or why I kind of started content creation later than I really wanted to, was because I didn't think I had like an aesthetic enough life to film content. So what do you do if you don't have an aesthetic life? You still film. Honestly, editing will save you. Editing aesthetically or adding aesthetic music will help you. Like, it will save you. A lot of people think that I have an aesthetic life. Babes, no, that's social media. Even if your life isn't aesthetic, all you really have to do is edit aesthetically and people will believe anything. My sister is laughing in the background, my baby sister. Now, if you're saying like, what if my life isn't fun enough? I don't have anything to film. You can honestly look up ideas on like what to do. You really don't have to do a bunch of stuff. Do a get ready with me. Do talking videos. You know, you don't have to always be up and about and doing stuff to film. Honestly, it's really easy. You can just look up ideas for that. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, sorry. Now, the last topic is analytical. Now, these are your analytics. Number one is, how do you make people more engaged, or how do you get people's attention? You can never have a dull or boring moment in your content. It really does matter. Your content has to be intriguing mostly the entire way through, especially today because people have such low attention spans. You have to have that bombing content. Long content does not necessarily equal good content. A lot of shorter videos will be better than longer videos. It's always quality over quantity. Your videos do not necessarily have to be long for them to be good, okay? Also, to get more engagement, you too have to be humble and engage with your supporters. You only have a platform because of them. I am always responding to, or at least liking, my comments both on YouTube and TikTok, and then when it comes to Instagram, I do text back my supporters. This just reminded me I have to do my streaks. I'm so bad at it. There are probably so many people that I accidentally lost a streak with because of my horrible upkeep. You also have to be creative with both your thumbnails and your intros. Just like a thumbnail captures the person's attention, it makes you want to click on their video. For them to stay, your intro has to be cute. There is this rule called the 5 seconds, 3 minutes rule, where the first 5 seconds of your intro has to be cute, has to be eye-catching, has to be entertaining, and then after your intro, the first 3 minutes of the real video has to be entertaining, okay? It cannot be boring and da 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 da. A lot of the time, my grandmother, she points out this really good rule where she'll click on someone's video, their intro will be cute, but then like the first 16,000 minutes of the video is just a person blah 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 talking without actually getting into the video. It is annoying. Stop yapping. I'm a yapper. I know. You gotta capture a person's attention. After the first 3 minutes, maybe you can let it slide. Now, the next two questions are, how do you get monetized? How do you start making money, and how long did it take me to start making money based off of my content. Now for me, I don't know how long it took me to get monetized on YouTube, but I know it was no more longer than 6 months. I made $4,000 off of one video when I first got monetized, and to this day, I'm still not able to get it. I literally don't know what happened. I think I accidentally entered in the wrong email address, and so it was this whole process where they wiped it clear and I had to restart. But I made over $4,000 off my first day of freshman year video, and to this day I think I've made $10,000 from the time posted to now off of that video. So yeah, I've obviously gotten money from that video, but that first check, I don't remember when I first got monetized, but that's when I remember. That's the most thing I remember. And then when it comes to getting monetized on YouTube, there is a whole setup on studios.youtube.com, the online version of YouTube Studios, and you just click the little cash button in the corner somewhere, and it gives you a whole prompt on like a whole walkthrough on how to set up your monetization. For their high tier ad revenue, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, but there also is a low tier that you can still make money for, and all you have to have is 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, because I did lower it. So there's a high tier and there's a low tier, but you still make money based off of both of them. Another question I get asked the most is, how do I remain motivated and how am I consistent? Girl, I'm not consistent, but you have to be consistent. When it comes to me on how to get motivated, sometimes I do get tired. Sometimes there are seasons of me wanting to quit. Wait, not now. But back then, there was multiple seasons of me wanting to quit content creation because it just felt like I wasn't doing anything or going anywhere. But I have to remember that it's fun, I'm making a name for myself, and it's an easy and fun way for me to make money doing what I love and what I'm passionate about. You also have to have passion behind this. You cannot just want to do content because you want to make money. Yes, that is a bonus, but if your heart and your passion is not in it, it's not going to be fun for you. It's going to be just like a 9 to 5. It's going to be work. It's going to be boring. It's going to be exhausting. You have to have a passion. You have to have a heart for this. Ooh, my voice cracked. Because also, if you don't, your content is going to show in that. Your audience is going to see that. It's going to be visible. You have to have the heart and the passion for content creation as much as you do a regular job. You got to remember, the bag won't chase itself as well. I also have to remember that me not being consistent also means that I'm not getting money. You can also look up posting times when it comes to posting on TikTok, the best times to post for your content to do well. And then for YouTube, it doesn't really matter, honestly, for that, but you can also set a posting schedule or uploading schedule for yourself. I try to at least get 3 videos a month or 2 videos a month. And then I don't think I said this, but as for getting monetized on TikTok, I think you have to have $5,000 to get into the creator fund or creator program. It's a lot. I didn't even know that I was able to make money off of TikTok until I looked at my PayPal account and it was like TikTok, and I was like, huh? And then that's when I realized I don't know how to sign up. Honestly, you can research that on your own because I can't tell you, but I do know you get paid for the creator fund if your videos are at least 1 minute and 1 second. A lot of people think that it's 1 minute. Sometimes not even those qualify. So just to be safe, 1 minute and 1 second is normally what people aim for. 1 minute and 2 seconds. A video of 1 minute and 1 second or over will get you paid if it does well. If it doesn't do well, you'll get like 24 cents. Which is why I like YouTube better, because YouTube does your pay based off of how consistent you are. Honestly, even if your video doesn't do that good, if you're just consistent and you're posting a bunch of videos and they're at least getting somewhat of views, you're still gonna get paid. Versus TikTok, if your video doesn't do good, you're gonna get scraps. Now, this is another good one. How do you get PR? How do you get brand deals? How do you get collabs? Make a business email and make sure that that email is an email you're going to stick with for life, okay? Just like mine's is yt.keyorieeliana@gmail.com. Yes, I don't have a manager. Yes, I do everything myself. So tiring. But YT stands for youtube.keyorieeliana.com. Even though I use it for my TikTok businesses as well, it's still a professional email. It still has my name in it, Keyorie Eliana, which is a name that I'm going to stick with for life. Also, you have to make content related to the brand deals or PR that you want. Now, let's say a brand wants you to film a product, but the product has nothing to do with what you want to post. None of your audience is going to watch that. Okay, unless you're getting paid, I don't recommend doing that. There are some brands that I do show and it has nothing to do with my content, but I'm getting paid, so I still promote it. Unless you're getting paid, don't do it. it's a waste of time. I know, free product, but don't do it. Or let's say you want to reach out to a brand and get their product, but it's nothing about what you post. They're not going to target you because you don't post anything about that brand. So why would they give it to you? Now, as for paid collaborations, a lot of brands will offer you a flat fee and say, hey, this is our budget. Do you want to accept it? Anything paid, honestly, go ahead and promote it. Sometimes they'll ask you what your budget is. Go high, shoot for the stars. Normally my max is 400 because normally any brand who has reached out to me has never gone above 400, and 400 is normally the rate that they go around. So I say 400. If they say they can't, worst case scenario, they just give you what their max budget is. You can still go for it. I feel like anything above 150 is good. Now, my last tip for content creation is to study your own analytics. You can go to YouTube Studios, and there's also a new app, TikTok Studios, where you can study your TikTok analytic as well and see what content is doing good, see what content is doing bad, see what you need to fix, and study yourself, honestly. This is another good way to figure out what content you want to continue posting, what you need to fix in your content, what content you need to stop posting, and overall, it just gives you a better idea on what to do with your content versus being clueless on what's going on behind the screens with your content. A lot of people are wondering, oh, why isn't this video doing good? Study your own analytics and see why, you know? You can also see where people lose their attention in your videos, where people gain their attention in your videos. And as for how to become an influencer or how to start content creation, these are all the tips, tricks, and answers that I have for you guys. So I hope this helped. I have been putting off this video for so long because I wanted to make sure that I was in a place where I was valid enough to give this details. But people have been asking me so many questions for so long, so I thought that I would finally make the video. But yeah, I hope this helped. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to DM me. But with all that being said, I hope that all the questions that were answered and all the advice that was given helps you to start your content creation. And like I said, with the question I get asked the most, how do you start? Pick up your camera, pick up your phone, record that video, edit it, and post it. Everyone's journey is different. Comparison is the thief of joy, and you just gotta remember that. Your journey is going to be different from other people's journey. You never know unless you just start. But yeah, guys, remember that you guys are loved. I love you guys. God bless. Peace out, Girl Scouts.